It's been a while since I've done a video, so let me start by saying a belated Merry Christmas to you and a very Happy New Year. Big stuff is going on with my tiny house. As you can see, we've got all of the exterior siding on. I'm so excited. It looks just like I wanted it to look. I wanted to mix a little bit of the rustic with the natural wood showing through, and then also add a little bit of industrial modern with the corrugated sheet metal here. So on this side, I've got one strip of sheet metal going up, and on the other side, I've actually got another strip as well. So this is the exterior. We are all the way dried in now. It's very exciting, which is good because it's freezing. We have had over a week of temps below, well, in the single digits. So now we can actually put a heater inside and start working in there. The only piece that's left undone, you'll see right here. Oh, look at the little construction kitty. All right, this piece is not on there yet, because this is actually my storage. We'll be adding a hidden door here because I wanted everything on the exterior streamlined. When you look in here, I will have this access hatch from this side, but I'll also have an access hatch from the other side. It's a really good amount of exterior storage. Up here is where you're standing in my bedroom. So it created all this dead space down here to allow for a lot of storage room. So this is where I'm able to put, you know, a ladder and all of these exterior things. This might be where I store a Christmas tree, you know, things like that. It's actually quite large in there. The only piece of functional equipment I'll have in there is my hot water heater, which you'll see from the inside, but will be buried right there. So let's take a peek at the other side. Okay, this is the other side. You'll see, same siding, and we've got a much larger strip of the corrugated sheet metal. It's just the look that I wanted to go for. But of course, when you're designing your own tiny home, you can put any siding out here as long as you make sure you stay within the confines of a street legal vehicle, which is 8 feet 6 inches. So you got to plan for that. Again, the exterior is completely done with the exception of the other hatch over here, which we will be finishing out at a later date. I do have the front door in, which is very exciting. I will tell you, we'll go inside next so that you can see we've done more than just the exterior siding. All right, welcome to the inside. It looks very different since the last time we were in here. We actually have the plumbing lines put in. This is huge. So you'll notice we've got all of our water supply lines in, as well as the PVC water drainage lines. So we are really close. In fact, within the next 5 days, we have the electrical going in, and this Friday we have our insulation guy coming to spray insulation in here. You know, that reminds me of something. I wanted to mention this. I chose in my tiny house to do all 2x4 framing. So what this did was allowed me, instead of using 2x6 framing, it allowed me an extra 4 inches on the inside in each direction to keep it 2x4. But the challenge it made for me, if you've got 2x6 framing, you can put your less expensive typical insulation in the walls. But I chose the 2x4. So the trade-off was I do get an extra 4 inches inside, which in a tiny house, 4 inches is huge. But the other piece of that is, now that I only have 4 inches, in order for me to get the correct R value, which is how we measure insulation, to get the correct R value, I'm paying significantly more to have spray foam closed cell insulation in here. And it's going to run me right at about $2,800. That is significantly more expensive. So if you're on a tighter budget, you may want to consider using the 2x6 exterior wall framing rather than the 2x4. But with this and the spray closed cell foam insulation, what it's going to give me is an R value of 19 on the walls, and then on the ceiling, we're going to have an R value of 34. Is that right, Ricky?
32.
32. Okay, thank
14 on the walls.
14 on the walls and 32 on the ceiling. That is my trusty contractor, Ricky, weighing in from behind the camera. So that was an option that I chose to save myself some space. But that's happening this Friday, so it's really, really exciting. You can check out the plumbing lines we've got. Obviously, in the kitchen, we have the refrigerator, which will actually have water and ice. So I do have plumbing running to that behind the door there. Here is our sink, as you can see, what will be the kitchen sink, which runs all the way here. All of my plumbing is on this side of the house, on the low side of the house. So when we come into the bathroom, y'all know me, you know how excited I was about this full-size bathtub. It is now installed. I'm very excited about it. But we've got our plumbing lines running here, our supply lines, and both the drainage lines down here as well to supply for the bathtub and shower. My vanity right here, well, it will be coming, and of course, my trusty toilet. So we've got all of that run all onto this side. Now where we were looking outside into that storage hatch, that's all down here. So this is actually where my on-demand hot water heater will be. The great thing about on-demand systems, they're really small. We're talking like 8.5 inches wide and maybe 16 inches tall. That's really very small as compared to that traditional hot water heater, which stores 30 or 60 gallons of water, continuously heating it while waiting for you to need it. So these are both a lot more efficient and they're also a lot smaller. So that's going to go right here. And so you'll notice when looking at all of the plumbing lines, they are done at an angle. They are sloped down, as you can see actually right up here in my washer dryer area right here. You can see the gradual slope that they've got. So this is for two reasons. Number one, obviously water runs downhill, so we need to make sure that we slope them all down to the main escape, if you will, where the final drain line actually drains everything. And the other reason we did this is my contractor, Ricky, who you met his voice earlier, he had a great idea. There will be times where I will be unhooking my tiny house and towing it, or even maybe just leaving my tiny house for a couple of weeks to travel. And it does get really cold here. So what he explained to me, he's putting in a release valve where I can unplug the water, pull the release valve, let all the water in the entire tiny house drain out of the lines, and that way I don't have to worry when I leave for several weeks about leaving my house heated. Nothing will freeze. The only thing we've got to do, just like an RV, is pour some RV antifreeze down in the P-traps. And you can see at the bottom of each place where the water drains, whether it's the sink, the vanity, or the bathtub, or the washing machine, you've got a P-trap here. So you simply pour about a cup of antifreeze in there that's specifically made for RVs, and it will keep that from freezing as well. That way I can go home for several weeks, go travel, and not have to worry about my tiny house freezing. And I don't have to continuously run the heater while I'm gone to keep it warm. So this is just a real quick look. Obviously, we've got a lot going on in the next week, guys. So please look for a video coming soon with the electrical put in. We're doing that on Monday. And then this Friday, we're actually doing the insulation. So by next week, we're able to start closing in the walls and finishing the build out here. Again, thank you so much for following my progress. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited, and I look forward to seeing y'all again soon. Bye.